I am very concerned for the Los Angeles Angels. Last night, it was announced pretty much officially that the Ohtani trade talk is dead. They aren't dealing him, which is made pretty obvious by the fact that they went and traded for Lucas Giolito. They're clearly buying and trying to make the playoffs this year. I feel if it was a team I trusted more, I'd be more okay with it. But it's the Angels. We've seen them be in baseball purgatory for the better part of 2 decades. And them not dealing the best player in baseball when he becomes an unrestricted free agent next year, it brings up a lot of questions. The first of which, is there a increased sense that Ohtani wants to be back with the Angels, slash that the Angels would be willing to fork over the money that he wants and deserves? I would have to say yes. I know we all think the Angels are this incompetent front office that can't get their head out of their own ass. But I do think that this does not happen unless there's something that spurred on their hopes that Ohtani will be in an Angels uniform in 2024. Now, the second part of that is, yeah, they got Lucas Giolito and Reynaldo Lopez from the White Sox. Does that make you good enough to make the playoffs? Maybe. As we sit, they're 7 games out of first behind Texas. I can't see him catching them. They're 4 games back from the wild card, in which case they're going to battle with Baltimore, Tampa Bay, Houston, Toronto, Boston, New York, Seattle. So I think what would make myself and a lot of people, a lot of naysayers about them not dealing Ohtani, sleep easier is them making some more moves. And I do think it's going to happen. There's a lot of guys on the trade market, a lot of which could help the Angels out. I mean, as long as they've had Mike Trout, they've had holes. You know, they're like Swiss cheese. It's really good. Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, Pujols for like 1 or 2 years. But then they have a lot of gaps. It's been pitching for most of the time. Their hitting is pretty solid. They have some injuries right now to Brandon Drury, to Anthony Rendon, if you count him as a positive. But you got to do more if you're really going to be all in on this push. And even then, I'll be honest, it's very likely that it could end at a 3-game span. They make the wild card. Their big effort leads them to a 3-game series, and they lose to one of those teams that we mentioned. But as we've talked before, look at Washington. Look at Philadelphia last year. You get in the dance and things start to happen. You never know. Now, however, if Shohei doesn't re-sign in the offseason, even if they made the ALDS, who cares? You get a compensatory pick, but that's not going to sniff what you would have gotten trading Shohei. Which leads to the other question that a lot of people are wondering. Were the deals just not good enough for Shohei Ohtani? It's multifaceted. It's not just the rental aspect with Ohtani. It's also that it's pretty clear it's a short list of teams that fit what he wants. And that is warm weather, preferably West Coast, and also being good, which probably narrows it down to, I don't know, the Dodgers, the Angels, the Giants. Throw the Padres in there. Always got to include the Yankees in these talks. When it comes to the Yankees, geographical preference gets thrown out the window. No doubt in my mind, the Angels asked for it all. They asked for a huge crop of prospects back for Shohei, whether it's a team that clearly has no chance of re-signing him, or someone that would be a favorite to land him in the offseason on a long-term deal. Those teams just weren't willing to meet the asking price from the Angels, and thus he's going to be in Anaheim for the remainder of the 2023 season, and we'll see how much further. I think if the Angels can make a playoff here and, if they win a round, I think it really starts to lean towards the Angels as the favorite because it's clear he loves playing for the Angels. The only thing is he wants to win, and they haven't done a whole lot of that since he came there.